Hey guys, I'm John with Hops and Brews, and it's getting a little bit warmer now, and nothing better than a cold, refreshing beer. Well, honestly, I love cold, refreshing beers all the time. But what about these new cold IPAs coming about? Let's talk about those for a bit. So Ecliptic Brewing and Wayfinder Brewing came out with their cold IPA. Now, is this the first cold IPA to ever come out? No, it is just a specific style. And today I wanted to talk to you about what is a cold IPA. But first, let's check this beer out. This beer comes in at an 8% ABV, a 0 IBUs. It gets an average rating on Untappd of 3.89. Brewed with our friends at Wayfinder Brewing, this cold India Pale Ale was brewed with Pilsner malt and lager yeast. Pacific Sunrise and Talus hops support the crisp finish on this collaboration. Okay, so Ecliptic and Wayfinder's collaboration on a cold IPA 2022. It looks great, honestly. It looks like a really nice IPA. Nice, fluffy, white head of everything is visually very attractive. Ooh, it actually, okay, it smells like a sweet, malty IPA. Honestly, it has a bit more of the sweet malt aspects of the modern juicy IPAs, and same with the hops. It's more of a citrus base, not the pine type thing. So let's give it a try. Ooh, okay, 8% too coming in. I'm not saying you taste the 8%. Like, you just know it's a big beer. You know it's like decent malty beer, and there's a nice drying finish at the back end. And it's a smooth dry too. That's very interesting. Wow, that's actually really well done. Usually I don't like that, but this one I kind of actually really like. Really well done. It has more of that citrusy IPA-ness. It has more of that juicy note from the malts. Okay, very, very well done cold IPA. But hang on a second. What is a cold IPA? No, it's not like, hey, let's make the temperature of this beer like the ice cold Rocky Mountains and wait till the can turns blue. Not that cold. We're not talking about pouring it over rocks or anything like that. It is actually more referring to the fermentation process. A cold IPA is actually kind of, I'll get into a little bit more, but a summarized version is an IPA with the malt bill of a lager or a Pilsner, and the yeast of a lager, which is cold fermented, but then hopped like an IPA. Get it? Cold IPA. Yeah, that's basically the rough estimate. Now, like I said, is a cold IPA like a brand new thing? Well, technically, no, because hopped lagers have been around for a long, long time. If you've ever seen possibly a IPL, or just, again, a hopped lager. You might see that very often. But what makes this a little bit different? Well, quickly, let's go off of the classifications of what a IPL and a hopped lager is. First off, a hopped lager is just, well, a lager that's been hopped more. It's really that simple. It is just brewed like a lager and then hopped like an IPA at the back end after fermentation. It is just extra hops. That's all they do. They just add extra hops to the hopped lager. Usually lagers are very crisp, clean, watery, more malt, Pilsner, biscuity flavor. So then what is an IPL? Well, an India Pale Lager, as it would be called, is more of a, again, IPA-based So everything you would do to brew your IPA, very normal. So you have the same malt bill, you have the same hop schedule, but you're fermenting it with lager yeast, so which would be a cold fermentation. This is what also is referred to as a bottom fermentation. You need to keep it in a cold atmosphere. Most homebrewers are going to sit there and probably brew ales because they don't have the fridge space or cooling capacity to do a lager Pilsner type beer. But what is a cold IPA? Well, what that actually is kind of more of a bridge between the two. It takes more of the malt bill of the lager, but kind of increases it just a hair to give it more of that malty biscuity flavor. They have the same hop schedule as an IPA, but then they lager it with a lager yeast. And it tries to kind of merge the two. So what you're getting is more of a crisp, refined IPA. For more of the people that really love lagers for, say, a burger or food going out, which I'll agree, a nice lager does go good with a nice burger and barbecue and hot weather because it's cool, it's crisp, right? This gives you more of a nice, leaner body and a cool, crisp, refreshing flavor more toward the malt aspect than the hop, but the hop then still accents it. I mean, technically, yes, you can kind of all classify them the same because they're very, very close in relation. But at the same time, remember, weed is also a close relation to hops. So they're not really the same. So cold IPAs, technically that particular classification, are still relatively new. But honestly, you should go and try it. If you had a hopped lager or an IPL, they're not exactly the same. Honestly, this leans more toward the IPA category with a very good accent on the malt, specifically more like the Pilsner and biscuity malts. So you're getting that sweeter malty flavor that a good lager would have, then accented with the nice citrusy, fruity, subtle pine notes of an IPA. And I highly encourage you, if you've had an IPL or hop lager and you're like, cold IPA, what is this new thing? I don't get it. Try it. Just give it a second. I know it probably is a bit of a marketing scheme to call it what it is, but man, this one is excellent. This is probably about the 5th or 6th one I've had. This is probably actually one of the best ones I've ever had. So really, if you are in the Pacific Northwest, go check out Ecliptic Brewing or Wayfinder if you can find them, and see if you can get this beer. It is just phenomenal. But my gosh, yeah, cold IPAs. Don't freeze them, don't chill them, just put them in your fridge and drink them. Cheers. There we go. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Remember, hit like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media stuff. The links for those will be at the very bottom of the description. Have you ever heard of a cold IPA before? Have you tried an IPL or a hopped lager? Let me know what you thought of those beers, and if you had all three, let me know if you could tell the difference. Maybe you don't notice the difference between this beer and just a regular IPA. Honestly, I think it is a great blend of the two, and it's a phenomenal beer. I'm gonna go buy some more of these.